Let's go! LSU versus Mississippi State film study. Obviously, the live stream was very lively. We are mostly going to focus on offense today and what we need to do to become a better offense, okay? So right here, we are running what is called a smash concept, okay? And essentially what you're doing is you're reading this defender, okay? If this corner right here, obviously you can't see him, is sinking all the way back, you throw the football here to Cole Taylor. If the corner is heavy on Cole Taylor, you throw it over the top of the defender. Protection is really good across the way, okay? Good job by Armani Goodwin seeing where the blitz was coming from. This gets picked up right here, and then Goodwin does a good job reading where the pressure defender was coming. This is just as excellent of a pocket as you're going to see in this situation, and Jayden throws an absolute strike. Could he have delivered this football earlier? Yes. Did he hitch a little bit? Yes, but that was good stuff all around. All right, so every year Mississippi State does a few things with their coaching staff that just don't make a whole lot of sense. And one thing I just did not think that they will do, and this is what Alabama's the world are going to do versus us, is they should have mush rushed a little bit more. I thought their pass rush got a little too aggressive at times. And what I mean by that is they just over pursued their pass rush lane. One thing Jayden Daniels is so freaking good at, going back to his Arizona State days, he is excellent at reading pass rush lanes. If you don't maintain pass rush lane integrity, he's going to eat you alive. He really is. So where this football should be thrown is right here to Mason Taylor, okay? Maybe this ball could have gotten into this window right here, but the truth is their pass rush lane integrity is awful. And one thing Coach Brian Kelly did a good job of is doing a lot of these max protects, a lot of seven-man-ish protections, okay? We get a chip right here from the tight end to help Henry Jones out. We get Armani Goodwin also coming over here and giving a chip, essentially giving three guys to work with Will Campbell over here, okay? So you notice this gets them all off their pass rush lane integrity, and they're trying to loop, twist, and trying to get to Jayden Daniels. And that just leaves open this wide open lane for him to run through. Once again, this football should have been leaked out right here to Mason Taylor, but Jayden is able to take these yards right here. And, of course, we will take these all freaking day. Okay? Once again, Jayden is an elite runner of the football. And these are very effective plays. Okay? The football doesn't get turned over on these kinds of plays, and that is very good stuff, especially after a penalty on first. All right, we get to the 2nd and 2. We have numbers in the box. We got 6 guys to block. There's 6 guys in the box. You see they're playing off coverage just pretty much everywhere. We have got to be able to run against this, especially if this blitzer is coming through. And honestly, we should have had way more yards right here, okay? We leave this defensive end unblocked where Jayden is reading him. As you can see, this defensive end decides to stay home. We need Armani to race through this hole, okay? What happens here, though, is the unblocked end right here. I would not have blocked this way. I would have just had Will take on this player instead of allowing the interior defensive lineman to go through. Who cares? We're running zone read to this side. I don't care if this guy is unblocked right here. And 5 is able to come around here and get a piece of Armani. We have got to get through here, though. If they are going to do this, okay, this guy's back, 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 and we have 6 hats to block their 6 defenders, we've got to be able to block this guy so he doesn't have a way to make this play. But nevertheless, the back right here has to do more right here, okay? Get through this arm tackle and race through here. This is perfectly blocked, and instead 5 is able to slow him down enough for 2 to get him. We do get the first down, but we did leave some yards on the field. So now we get to the 2nd and 15. On first down, they just had everything covered, and we missed a throw to Armani Goodwin. But even if that would have checked down, it would have been in like a 2-yard gain. So now we get to the 2nd and 15 right here. And this, honestly, is just really good defense. Okay, we decide to max protect here, and we're running a 3-man route. And Jayden actually makes the right decision, okay? If we're going to run all verts, which is kind of sort of what we're doing, you got to throw this ball to Malik. I mean, I know this isn't a vert right here. Not Malik. You got to throw this football to Kayshawn. So this is a good read. It's just a horrible throw, okay? You got a clean pocket. Protection is absolutely perfect right here. There was nowhere to run. They would have brought you down immediately. You've got to throw this football. This has just got to be a catchable ball. It's a bad throw. Good coverage by the corner. He's all over Kayshawn right here. You just got to give Kayshawn a chance, and that's just not a chance. So now we get to this 3rd and 15, and this is just going to be, for me, a philosophy change as far as LSU football is concerned. If you're in plus territory on this 3rd and 15, we don't have Joe Burrow back there, right? You just got to make this a manageable 4th down. They're just going to back out of this and mush rush the heck out of us and not let Jayden beat us or not let them allow Jayden to beat them with the legs, okay? So as you'll see here, they have a quarterback spy. They're just going to force Jayden to make some kind of throwing play, and nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing is open, okay? You don't want to try and hole shot this ball. You are not Patrick Mahomes. And he thought about it. Obviously, if you're looking right here, you'd have to throw just the absolute most perfect ball right into this space, because this defender, the whole defender, if you will, is just going to converge on that, okay? Now, quarterback coaches, let me know, do you think this football to Kyron Lacy could have been completed? Maybe. It just depends how deep this guy is. I would need the higher camera angle to see. So I guess in theory, this ball could have been put right here. Nevertheless, this football is behind Jack Besh. Still, this wasn't going anywhere. We're just lucky that this wasn't a turnover. We get a lucky bounce right here, and we punt. All right, so this is the play right here. Obviously, a touchdown to the left. The simple truth here is there was actually 3 players who made mistakes, and Major Burns is actually the player that I blame the least here. The first thing here is, and you'll see this from the end zone camera angle, if you're Greg Penn, the linebackers had issues with this in the spring. You don't want to run yourself into a mush, okay? Unless you have the clearest path and read on the football here. So what he does is, as a linebacker, you kind of want to scrape. You don't want to get caught. You don't just want to run into this blind. And that's exactly what he does, okay? So he kind of just runs himself into this, and he can't see anything, and he trips, okay? So we lose a key defender right here to make this tackle. Okay, and now it's off to the races, and it's a tutty. All right, and once again, this is a good call. I think they checked into this, okay? Notice we have one of our linebackers here to help guard these receivers. We have a corner, we have a nickel, and a safety all the way to this hash, okay? Good call right here by Leach and Will Rogers to check into a run, okay? So B.J. Ojulari actually makes a really good play on this. He decides to swim move over the top, and he forces his tackle to whiff. Okay? Now, if you're going to do this, understand your responsibility here is still this entire gap. Okay? So what I would have done is after this swim right here is get a little bit flatter. Okay, and sit right here instead of penetrating. And as you see, he gets tripped up a little bit from the pile. I would have tried to kept this a little bit tighter. But even then, okay, you've got to make this tackle right here. Okay, yes, Major Burns has got to bring him down in the spot. You are the safety. You are the last line of defense in theory. Okay. But still, as you'll see right here, Ojulari had a chance, okay? Right here, you just got to dive. You got to try your best to get a hold of something, and if he would have dove, maybe he has a chance to make a play right there. Still, that is mostly on Greg Penn to allow that explosive touchdown. Okay, now they're waving, okay? We don't want that. All right, so John Emery's in the game, and we have got 6 guys to once again block their 3, 4, 5-ish. There's still a creeper right here and someone like just right here, the corner. So we got to be able to run against this, okay? And honestly, we can't, all right? Maybe John Emery could have read to bounce once this guy had a lot of – no, there's just nothing there. This place just blown up, okay? Cole just gets beat really bad to the inside right there. Lucky we got away with the hold. And there's just nothing there. Second down, this is just a mess. You never want players just kind of running into each other. So that's pretty much what happens here. John Emery and Brian Thomas Jr. kind of run into each other. This is just nasty. You never want a player to get hit that hard. Good job by BTJ, though, making this guy miss and picking up a few extra yards. I'm really happy Emery was okay after that. Third down, we're just not getting anywhere here. They have a run blitz called, and they just blow this up. It's just too much penetration, and there's just nothing. We can't block that look right there in that spot. Could John have found a way to pick this up? No, there's nothing there. All right, this was an objectively bad call, and I'm actually kind of happy it happened because I didn't like this 4th and 1 look. I know Josh Williams had a short yardage touchdown earlier, but I don't know if we're stopping this. It just depends if we were going to throw or run out of this. We're probably running here. Maybe some variation of zone read. I don't know. Nevertheless, this should have been offsides. You can't do that, right? You can't flinch. You can't just fall forward. The offensive line has a right to react. This was such an interesting way to attack this Mississippi State defense, okay? And it's actually something that I am not necessarily in love with versus other teams, but against this team, it makes a lot of sense, okay? You have a pocket quarterback, and what they did was they just overload blitz, right? One of these guys is going to get home at some point, okay? Who cares if Will Rogers is running? That's what we want them to do, okay? And the bottom line is Will actually misses this mesh, okay? And as you'll see here, he misread this mesh, okay? He then tried to throw it this way, and he had no chance, okay? Give Jaquelin Roy a lot of credit. He quietly had another good game versus Mississippi State for the 2nd year in a row, okay? So he takes on this double, and he just smartly just keeps working it, okay? If not, Rogers would have hit this guy, all right? BJ curls around. BJ gets credit for the sack. But honestly, they picked up this overload pressure really well. This was Jaquelin Roy, again, making a play and not getting the credit for it, okay? And BJ was able to just walk into this coverage sack. Good stuff. This is just a gigantically horrible play call right here by Leach. I mean, you bring this slot receiver in tight, which allows us to blitz Major Burns just right off the edge here. And once again, it's Wingo. He's able to just crash to the inside. They're trying to get a second-level block to this backer. We're getting Mike Jones in there as well. That's just a bad play call. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. It's the same concept, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 to block their 5, okay? You've just got to be able to run against this. There's just no other way around it. There's nothing to throw into, okay? They've got everybody back, okay? So you've just got to be able to run against this, all right? So we got Mason coming around on this fake wham block right here, okay? And the way that this is designed is for you to fake this block and then go to the second level. I just think you just got to kick out this end. I understand the concept here, but if you kick him out right there, Armani's got a chance to read this cut back right through here, okay? Just kind of a design flaw right there. All right, so what do we do here? We're actually running, this looked like a broken play, but this is actually a design. We are running Jayden on a design to the right. We're faking a screen to the left. We probably didn't get the numbers. Maybe it should have been a screen to Kayshawn, and he just decides to run to the right. Kind of hard without knowing the play call. The problem is Deli missed this pull. Okay, so Cole's supposed to get a piece and go to the next level and block this guy. He's trying to pass this off right here, and Deli just misses this. I don't know who was supposed to block the edge guy, and that play was just dead. 3rd and 14, once again, I would need the all-22 to really see what happens here. Honestly, I just, there's just no way for me to know. Bottom line is we can put together something here. So what they're doing is they are running a twist here with this backer coming around and this backer coming through right here, okay? So this is a difficult block for Deli to make, and Josh Williams probably should be right here. This is just honestly a really well-designed blitz. Just too much pressure up the middle. There's just nowhere for Jayden to throw this, and he's just got to tuck and run right here. I'd have to see a different angle for me to see if there's anybody just open, but probably not. Just take these yards, and there you go. So you would think Leach would have, learned from his first mistake, right? He spreads them out, and once again, we just crowd the line of scrimmage here on this 4th and 1. And it's just 6 people going up against 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you see it right here, Greg McElroy, just draws it up. Football's a numbers game, okay? 6 players to block 5. Okay, and the tackle has got to block the defensive tackle who knows that Will Rogers isn't going to pull and run. So all this tackle has to do right here is just run as hard as Wingo's just got such great football IQ, right? He knows at the snap of the football, I just need to sprint as hard as I possibly can to this side, and that's all he does. And the tackle actually pushed him closer to the ball carrier, and he makes the play, along with Mike Jones and a few others. Just a pitiful design. All right, so right here was a bad miss in pass protection from Josh Williams, okay? So they're starting to get exotic, and they are bringing, once again, I was talking about this, these layered blitzes, okay? Normally we think of blitzes as guys, getting up to the line of scrimmage, and there just being one line coming. But instead, you see there's like a second wave. This safety's coming here, and we need Josh Williams to pick this up. Now, it's not easy to do this because there is a lot of time to think about this collision that's about to happen, and he has a full head of steam. This is not an easy block, but he just misses him, okay? I think he decided to make a business decision here, and then at the last second, he just kind of whiffs him, okay? There's nothing Jayden could do about this. Absolutely nothing, okay? Frazier's getting beat to the inside. Good stuff right here by Emory Jones, okay? And Jayden actually, that's actually really good stuff. We actually avoid the sack and hit a check down, and we at least get something out of it. Really quickly, Denbrock did make a good adjustment to circumvent other protection issues a little bit later. We just started hitting them in the flats, quick throws to the outside. So right here, Jayden potentially could have got this football to Mason. All right, so this was the fumbled mesh point, okay? Once again, let's see our numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish guys in the box. And once again, they are playing off our receivers. They are daring us to play pitch and catch to the outside. They are daring us to run the football. So and this is just simple stuff. You've just got to be able to run against this. You've got to be able to run something, okay? Their backer is all the way nearer to the opposite hash than the play side hash towards the field, okay? You've just got to be able to run against this, all right? And get a really good snap. And this ball probably should have just been handed off here. We're getting a good double. But this end does crash down here. So it probably is a pull read. And I think Jayden, I don't know what it was here. That is very strange. That's not going to lie. I've seen a lot of mesh points. That's one of the roughest quarterback running back exchanges. But as long as we fall on it, we're not losing field goal territory. And yeah, it's just very, very, very strange. Once again, this is just amazing stuff right here from Matt House. This kind of looks like just a basic second down. But God, this was really good. Okay, so we're only rushing 4. Okay, simulated pressure, right? What does that mean? Well, you bring 4 guys, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the 4 guys you think, which would be Jones, Guillory, Roy, and Ojulari. Instead, we only bring Greg Penn, Roy, Smith, and Guillory. Okay, and everything is just covered. Okay, and because Roy got such great pressure, this forces Will Rogers. There's no flat defender, so now BJ's breathing down your neck. There's nobody getting open down the field, and he's just got to kind of throw this football away. All right, this includes Dave Aranda. This is one of the most exotic defensive looks I've ever seen on this 3rd and 10. Okay, and it actually worked. Normally, when I see defensive coordinators try and just do an overload of this magnitude, this is insanity, okay? Absolute insanity, okay? It normally doesn't work, but it does, right? The running back and the tackle decide to pick up Harold Perkins, and the key thing here is the running back immediately knows he's got to come to the left side and pick up something, okay? Instead, he doesn't, right? He makes a last-second choice to come clean something up, and instead of picking up Savion Jones, which he should have done, Harold Perkins is out of this play. He makes a mistake, okay? But when you give college football players, look, I mean, you never see this. This is rare, all right? You're going to get something, okay? Savion Jones gets credit for it, but it was the design, okay? Everybody's eating up their block. If the running back just picks him up, what's funny is still nothing would have been open. Everything is still covered. Okay, and what did I tell you in the scouting report when watching Mississippi State? I have no idea why they don't play Xavier Thomas, their ace punt returner. Their receivers can't get open. Look at this. Sage Ryan quietly had a really good game. Everything's just eaten up. There's just nothing open. And honestly, Rodgers would have been better served just to tuck and run. Okay, now, there's a lot of you out there that say, hey, Jayden can't throw. Jayden can't throw. Well, in this case, he picks up this first down instead of Will Rogers, right? Because when you play a pocket quarterback like Will Rogers, you can do these kinds of things, right? Against a mobile quarterback, pass rush lane integrity isn't as important, okay? So, when you criticize Jayden, no, he's not the prettiest thrower of the football. But right here, Jayden is, because it is man coverage, okay? All right, look, everybody's washed up the field, okay? If Jayden is in this spot, he's tucking and running for this first down just right here. Maybe Baskerville could catch him, but no. So, once again, I get the Jayden criticism, and we're about to, talk about some of his decision-making, but that right there is a benefit. All right, so we get a first down run to Armani Goodwin, and it was actually a really, really, really good run. And it was a tough run. So now we get to second down, and I just don't like the design of this for a few reasons, okay? The first thing is when you're running these kinds of slip plays, so what we're doing here is we're trying to get Armani on a jet sweep here, and what we're trying to do is slip Cole Taylor here to the right. If you play these standing outside linebacker types, which is what Mississippi State likes to do, they can read that right here from the line of scrimmage because he's already reading the zone read. So right when Wheat sees that, it's not really hard to see what we're trying to do. It's obviously we're trying to slip this tight end, and they also think we're probably going to try and throw here on the 2nd and 6. So they are not fooled at all by this run. Okay, they don't even really play this run at all. Okay, so now we need Mason Taylor to slip right here. There's just no getting through that. And this is honestly kind of sort of how Nuss got his pick. This was a big play for us last year. And one minor adjustment that I would make if I'm LSU, and I know I'm going to get ethered to the high heavens about this, but Jack Besher's on your bench, and he was very effective on the tight end slips. Okay? So Jayden, this was actually one of his better plays of the night, actually throws a semi-accurate ball right there under heavy duress, and honestly there's just no way anyone's going to catch that right there. If Jack's not playing, I would play him some at the tight end role because Mason Taylor did have a rough game. And we are asking a true freshman to play a lot of snaps at a very difficult and complex position. Third down, and it's, this play's just dead, okay? They're getting just too much pressure here. Josh does a good job picking this up. This is just dirty, and I as in the pocket's dirty, I don't have another angle here to see where Jayden could have thrown the football here. So if anybody has another angle, feel free to send it to me. And he's trying to just pick up this first down, and you're just never getting through all that. All right, we forced another punt, and what I think Arnett did a really good job of as this game moved on is, and LSU adjusted to this, now you got to start throwing, okay? We're not really running the football, and while this does look like a light box, this motion right here just did not really pay a whole lot of dividends until a little bit later. This kind of jet sweep, tight end sweep kind of motion, okay? It just didn't really do a whole lot for us. I thought Frazier at right guard had a rough-ish game, okay? And this was another example of it. He just whiffs. He's going up against one of the best players in the SEC, Tyrus Wheat, right here. John actually does a good job whiffing this guy and getting up in here and making something really out of nothing. That's actually some really good stuff. Boom! I'm looking at you. Yes, you right now. Hope you're enjoying this film study. I highly recommend you do join the Patreon because you do get my pregame scatter reports. And my number one thing I said LSU should do in this game is throw to the flats because that is what worked versus Arizona, okay? Now, there is a danger to running this kind of play, okay? Because that is technically a, let's see where he's throwing this. I don't know how this play was characterized. Okay, so that is a throw. It went horizontal enough. And right here, good job by Kayshawn. Okay, this is honestly excellent blocking. All right, we want him to get the edge right here, And Kayshawn does a great job right here blocking, okay? We want you to go to the inside. And I know he worked his way back outside, but you got to just let him go because they call a lot of holding penalties in this spot. Good job by Mason blocking right here. And because Kayshawn got a good block, it kind of cut this guy off. And now we need John to make the safety miss. Good stuff, John. That's just freaking ridiculous right there by John Emery. All right, so we're running here on second down, kind of a tough angle. And there's just nothing happening here. That's just squeezed down. Not one of Emery's better reps. I thought Emory Jones was good overall. And that's just squeezed. I mean, there's just not... Jamal Anderson mixed with Jamal Lewis, mixed with Barry Sanders, mixed with Jim Brown would have gained the same amount of yards as John Emery had on this play. It was dead. Thought LSU would go to this, and honestly, I really do like the play design. You just got unlucky, okay? The one time we ran this kind of tunnel screen, we backed out into coverage and made this a complex blocking assignment here for Mason, okay? So Mason's got to take this guy, and we just squeezes this play down, okay? So we really have just nowhere to go right here. 92 does a good job reading this to create more traffic as well, okay? So once 92 gets stopped, he sees that this is a screen all the way, okay? So got unlucky. I actually like the design of it. And, Deli missed a block right there anyway. So got unlucky that Wheat was backing out into coverage. Maybe it works if he is actually pressuring. Alrighty, so we get to this 3rd and 9 play, and, this is just not good quarterback play. I mean, this was one of my more negatively graded plays with Jayden. Obviously, his worst play, of course, was the fumble in the red zone. But that's going to get fixed. This might not get fixed, and it has to get fixed, okay? You've got to be able to make some throws from the pocket, all right? So the first thing here is it's kind of cut off once again. This is a smash concept, okay? But what we're doing here is we're running Josh Williams as the flat defender to hold this corner, okay? And then if this corner bites, which he is sitting right here, you can actually do a few things. You could throw this football to BTJ, but that's not going to get enough for the sticks. This is a 3rd and 9, okay? They are running too high, okay? So there is an idea that maybe you don't want to throw this football to Jack Best because there could be a safety over the top, but this ball has just got to be completed to Jack. This is a really well-designed play, okay? Corner does have inside leverage. Safety is to the inside. So that means if this corner right here sits on this flat right here, which he does, you could throw this football into this space right here, okay? Jack ran this route just fine, okay? Boom. Okay, and he's looking right there, okay? Jayden's looking at the flat concept, all right? You see how he cocks right here? By doing just that, his second read now should be right here. Boom. You're looking right at it, okay? Either throw it to BTJ, that would have been short of the sticks, or right here for all the yards. But he goes off of it, okay? So now we work backside to Kayshawn, and this was an excellent adjustment by LSU at the halftime. They're giving this all day, okay? So Kayshawn is right here, and he's open. And maybe he could just sit instead of turning his back right there. Or if you want to get really fancy, you could back shoulder this ball. It would have to be an absolute laser perfect throw. You can't throw that right there. So now he's thinking about throwing this to Kayshawn, but this corner is essentially covering both of these guys, and the safety is covering that. So now try and work back to BTJ. Can't throw it there. This guy is spying you the whole way, and it's not there. So now you just got to sit in this pocket and just hope for something, all right? Can't hold on to your blocks this long, okay? You just got to let him go. And this play just lasted forever. And QB Spy does its job. Wheat's a really good player from Amite, Louisiana, and they bring him down. All right, so sometimes you can call an absolutely perfect play and it not matter. And that's exactly what happened here for Matt House. So they know that he's blitzing. They give a call right here. And this is just really good offense. You just got to let this guy go unblocked. Good job by the running back reading that I need to pick up this pressure. You always want to let the outermost guy go free. So now, good job by Greg Brooks not getting a late hit. And look at where this ball is placed. I know it's a little blurry. Just a snag. Let's see right here. That's just a snag. That's just a snag. Oh, he brought it down one-handed. All right, here we go. It's 1st and 10. We're down 13-0. 2-minute drive. It's a pretty big spot in this game because they do get the football next half. Okay? Good job right here on first. Let's just hit our check down right here and see what yards we can get to start the 2-minute drive. Okay? If you're Josh Williams, good job making these tacklers miss and fall forward. Let's see. Ooh. Got away with one right there. So this is why I'm not a big fan of like the ball control, chew the clock, and I'm a big fan of running the 2-minute. Is that you do not allow them to get exotic, right? They weren't even set right here on this 2nd down. That is what we want, okay? All right? So it's 2nd and 2. You're going to have more time to do what you need to do with the football. And guess what? Because they weren't set and they're discombobulated, it's a broken play. Let's just run, okay? And that's what Jayden does best. And he picks up a lot of yards here, okay? The good thing about these runs, Jayden's probably not going to fumble it, and it's not going to end up being a turnover. Once again, this is just really good quarterbacking, okay? We're making a boundary field read right here, okay? And Jayden sees that this player sinks in, all right? Corner's playing off. Don't throw it there, obviously. And we're just going to hit our flats. Protection even broke down here, okay? Deli and Charles Turner get bull rushed back into Jayden, okay? Good stuff. Just hit Josh Williams in the flat. Now, Josh, you got to make somebody miss. And he does fall forward, okay? Now, some of you texted me this play. Why didn't he go here? Okay? It's a boundary field read, all right? If he had time, maybe he can go through progressions and hit Malik or hit Jure right here. One thing I would like to see, not necessarily against Mississippi State, is we do struggle attacking the middle of the field. Now, a lot of people struggle attacking the middle of the field, even the best of the best quarterbacks. Right now, you're looking at a passing chart from Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, arguably two of the 10 best quarterbacks in the NFL, definitely Mahomes. And you see, they also don't really attack the middle of the field just too much, okay? So right here, yes, it does look wide open. This looks open as well. It's not as easy as you think. It is tough to read the middle of the field. All right, so we get to the 2nd and 7 here. Still 2 timeouts. And this is one of these situations where, you know, it's not a zero-sum game if you miss a throw, okay? So right here, this is kind of sort of a miss, okay? So they're generating some pressure here. They're running a twist stunt. They're bringing this guy around. And obviously, they're bringing big old Tyrus Wheat, getting a head start here on Garrett Dellinger, okay? So let me just go on ahead and establish here that there was some pressure being generated. Was it a lot of pressure? No, okay? Second thing here is obviously Jayden is looking right, and we are running all verts, okay? So Kayshawn is going vertical. Mason's going vertical. He's going vertical. This is Malik, and not BTJ. This is actually Jaray's going vertical. And what do you know? Bam, okay? This is there, all right? This is there. The safety has got to help this backer or safety on Malik right here, okay? So if you do work backside right here, boom, okay? That is a step, and the safety is being covered, okay? Now, I don't know if the safety bailed over. I can't see him if he truly is respecting Malik right here, but unless I have that angle, I can't really say. So, guess what? Green grass, run into it. Now, could that have been a pick? Yeah, it could have been a pick. But these are a lot of yards right here being gained with plenty of time left to go in the half, okay? We'll take that all day. So we do get the other angle right here, and boom, okay? Once you see that the safety is over the top of this player, yeah, that's... Dre's got him beat. Now right here, safety does peel off and help on Dre. Nothing wrong with the tuck and run either right there. All right? Now we're cooking with grease. We are down by 2 possessions. We really need to score a touchdown. Okay, they get the football first. Good field processing right here by Jayden. He's looking left. And this is actually just good quarterback play in the pocket. Looks left, everything's covered. Right there, hit Malik, and boom. Good stuff. So it's 2nd and 2, and this is honestly a pretty easy read right here. The man coverage defender is covered, okay? Hit the upfield shoulder and just throw it right here, okay? So while the end result was really, really, really good, and I'll take it, okay. And this is ironic because in the 2020 game, Miles in this same exact spot, almost to a T, actually missed this dig route, okay? And if I have time, I'm actually going to show you this screenshot of this play. This is the difference of having a dual threat quarterback because they can bail you out if they miss this throw, okay? Bang. This dig is cleared out. This dig is cleared out. Wow. So we miss 1. All right. Now, 2. Climb this pocket right here. Help out Will. 2. And 3. Okay. But because it's man coverage, their backs are turned, we can just take off and run. So you see, you can miss throws. And it still, turn out to be something really, really, really productive, such as this. And honestly, this was probably a more productive play than any of those throws would have been. Play call of the night right here by Dim Brock. And we got aided by some weird-ish defense. As you can see, they're guarding the goal line. So guess what? If you're guarding the goal line, let's just hit Dre right here. All right? And what's funny here is it is pretty clear that Jayden is throwing this football right here to Dre. Okay? And the ball actually does come out maybe just a half second late. And Dre waits on it, catches it, and it's not actually even hitting him in stride right here. So the ball is slightly behind him, which I kind of like, right? Because maybe this player is just driving down at him. So Dre is allowed to gather himself, break through not one, not two, but 3 players for a tutty. And honestly, this is just not good defensive coordinator play. Okay? Now, why is that? Well, you want to dare LSU to run the football here, right? We only have 1 timeout left. You want to try and make them burn it, okay? Give us a light-ish box to go 3-on-3 with our 3 best receivers against your 3 guys. We'll take that all day, baby. Let's go. Issue here is Frazier did have a rough-ish game, okay? A little bit of a whiff. It is slide protection to the left, so you are sitting a little bit heavier on this gap, but you don't want to lean, okay? You see how he leans? You want to stay in your stance, maintain your posture. He leans and he whiffs, okay? Don't want that, all right? Thankfully, this was a quick hitter, and we were able to score. Good stuff. Gosh, just nasty. Desire right there. Desire. Skill guys do matter. Okay, Mississippi State skill guys are pitiful. I said it in the preview that they just don't scare anybody. And the receiver right here trips out of his break, okay? Makes a good move to make Baskerville miss, but you've got to catch this. That is massive, massive, massive drop. Man, I'm telling you, guys, I think we stole a victory here. I mean, tell me that they're picking everything up. I mean, we're rushing 3, dropping 8. And you're a single digit, dude. You got to catch that football. So we're coming out doing the rush 3, drop 8 thing again. And I'm really glad we didn't do that, right? The entire game like we did last year. It was almost too much. Now, you could beat Mississippi State just doing that all game. But yeah, you do. If you do that, though, you do give up these running back runs, these running back checkdowns that gain 7 or 8 yards. This is just an excellent freaking play call right here by Mississippi State. Okay, they know we've been overload blitzing them to the left on 3rd and short and just 3rd down in general. So they're saying, look, try and guard us in man coverage with this guy running all the way over to this side. And it's just a lot of traffic. And guess what? Will Rogers reads this perfect. And what do you know? You get one of your single-digit numbers. Boom. Coverage bust. All right? Because what they do here, LSU actually banjos this. So 24 actually picks up the flat defender in 11. And 15 right here, and that's Jarek Bernard Converse keeping with 11. And what happens here is there was a miscommunication. Sage Ryan should have picked up this interior defender, receiver, and instead he's still running with the flat defender. And guess what they get? Exactly what they want, okay? A quick pass on 3rd and short with a bunch of green grass in front of him, and he drops it. Okay, you can see it right here. Okay, coverage bust. Oh man. I mean, we have nobody. It's him versus Jay Ward for 10, 15 extra yards. He's gaining at least 7 or 8 after that. All right, and for the second straight Power 5 game in a row, our guy Denbrock calls a better second half than a first, okay? Very simple stuff. Hit the flats. That's how you beat Mississippi State. That's what Arizona State did. That's what Arizona did. And this time, Armani Goodwin does make a tackler miss, okay? Because of a good throw by Jayden, he's able to get that football off field, and we're picking up some extra yards. So we pick up 3 yards on first down with Armani, and then we start feeding Malik. Just very simple stuff. Throw to the flats versus Mississippi State. Got Armani in the flats. We got Malik in the flats. Good job cutting up in there. Breaking a tackle. Breaking 2 tackles. Mississippi State's weakness of their defense is their foot speed. They are not that fast. Okay, so why do you want to attack the flats versus this? Well, look at all these guys that they have in the middle. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. Safety's playing tight. Just hit him in the flats and see if we could beat 44 in a foot race to the outside. Okay? You block him. Wide receiver block him. It's simple football. Okay? So now, you want to guard Malik with a linebacker here? Okay? Good freaking luck. All right? That linebacker's got to run all the way over here to try and make a play. It's just simple. Very simple stuff. Let's see if 2 crashes down. Their linebackers blitz. We have them right where we want them, okay? And this should just be a pull read the entire way. All right? Excellent stuff right here by Emory Jones. He makes a big block right here. Okay, look at how he's washing this grown man down. Emory Jones, okay? And we're just pulling this the entire way, okay? And now it's just a foot race. We want the defensive end in the zone read to crash down every time. Good cutback right there by Jayden. Take these yards. Don't fumble. All right, so it is 2nd and 1. They're playing off of Kayshawn, and God, this is so good from Mike. This really is, all right? I love 3-by-1 formations with Kayshawn being the lone guy. It just always gives you numbers because you got to draw safety over here. And since they're both playing so far off, let's throw a football right here to Kayshawn really quickly. Protection is really good. Look at that. That's excellent right there by Armani. Didn't need to be because Kayshawn ran a good route and got himself open on the 2nd and 1. We'll take pitch and catch all day, baby. Let's go. All right, so this is where Jayden got really sloppy. And, you're throwing in rhythm. Middle of the field is not a strong suit, okay? Bah! I'm looking at you. Yes, you right now. So, if it is in your heart's desire, please drop a Venmo or a Cash App because sometimes these film studies do get demonetized. And I spent a lot of time on them. I stayed up until 4 in the morning actually cutting it, and now I'm editing it pretty quickly on the Sunday, missing out on watching my Saints hopefully beat the Buccaneers. So, obviously, if that is something you would like to do or join our Patreon, that's obviously a lot of fun. You get to be a part of our Discord community. It is really, really helpful. Jayden is probably one of the grittiest players I've ever seen at LSU. You see this boxer-like cut on his eye that he suffered later in the game. This guy is gritty. He takes a lot of shots. And, I really appreciate this young man and everything that he's been through. We talked about this privately in the Discord. I've gotten to know a few people close to Jayden and Nuss. And look, the quarterback's a really difficult thing, and a lot of these players really put it all out there for us, and I give Jayden a frick ton of credit for finding a way to get this done. So understand that it's all love, but I'm about to be very harsh on QB1. Let's get to it. Let's go. And I think I know why. He is very turnover adverse, and he did make a few picks versus some teams last year. Can't run a better route than this right here by Mason Taylor, okay? You're going up against a linebacker here with inside leverage, and you got to get to the inside. Look at that. Steps to the inside. He does get this linebacker flipped. You just got to lead him right here. This is what we want. Right here, middle of the field. And it's... So once again, here we go. It's 2nd down. And once again, this is just another poor throw by Jayden. Should this ball have still been caught? Yes. Okay? It doesn't hit your upfield shoulder. Now, this has to be Jack Besh. All right? There is no difference between Jack Besh and Mason Taylor in this kind of scenario. Right? And we had Jack on a lot of these throws on these slips last year. And he was really good at catching the football, even though if it was behind him. But I want you to see this right here, okay? The mechanics for Jayden gets very quirky, okay? All right? So, his, it's really QB School is a great YouTube channel, former NFL quarterback. You don't want your feet to get clicky, right? You don't want your feet to click, okay? And so he's throwing away from this when he doesn't have to, okay? Running back has your chip right here on this blitzer, okay? This is not a throw where you need to be fading away, if you will, okay? And you can see the ball just kind of comes out very wonky, all right? And look, we have Mason Taylor one-on-one versus a safety for a tutty, okay? No matter what, if you hit the upfield shoulder, he's gaining no less than 5 yards right there. But I would like to see Jack, considering that was his specialty last year, get that opportunity. Jayden's worst sequence of downs. Now, once again, he did play unbelievably the rest of this freaking game. But this is not good right here, okay? So it's 3rd and 10, and they kind of sort of know we got to all or nothing this thing, right? So what that means is we're trying to get the football past the sticks, okay? And a few things about this player are kind of baffling to me, okay? All right, I was kind of interested to see Chris Hilton. I think Chris Hilton actually got the start. He's not really done a whole lot. I'm a little shocked that he's getting these crunch time snaps over Jack and Kyron Lacey and Jure. In this scenario, Jure Jenkins has got to be on the field. Now, I don't know if he's hurt. He might have been banged up. I don't know. But there's a few other guys that I would have in this spot. But even then, they're playing so far off that it really doesn't matter, okay? The ball's never going here anyway. The second thing here is I do give Jayden a lot of credit. Malik is frustrated. He knew he was open. Good stuff by Nuss. You're the clear backup. You know you're probably not going to play. Some good mentorship right there by both him and Jayden. So right here, what we're doing is kind of sort of complex, but kind of sort of not. So you notice Kayshawn is not firing out the football all that hard. All right, there's a reason. He's allowing Mason Taylor to clear out some space for him to run what's called a dig, okay? And what a dig is you run, horizontal to the field, okay? And this is a deeper dig or crossing route, whatever you want to call it, okay? So the hard thing about a dig is Max Johnson going into this end zone versus Auburn missed Trey Palmer on a dig in a very similar spot, okay? So the thing here is his pocket isn't great, all right? This is actually a pretty incredible rush by Wheat to at least get in the periphery of this. The thing here is this player has inside leverage, all right? So this ball to Kayshawn is going to be difficult, okay? Now, this looks like an easy throw to Malik, but the more I look at it, the more it actually isn't all that easy, okay? There was a little bit more pressure than I initially thought. This honestly is just a good mano-a-mano rep right here by Emory Jones. This is a longer developing play, and he actually eats this spin move right here by Wheat, and Wheat kind of spins back into this play, okay? Could this ball have been completed to Malik? Let's take a look. Get a play action fake. He is looking to the left, okay? Honestly, in this spot, instead of just throwing this, I would have preferred him just to tuck and run. Is he getting this 3rd and 10? This is a faster player, so probably not. He does have the QB spy, so you do want to throw this here. Okay? That's just not there to Kayshawn. This guy's just sitting there waiting on it. Nothing else is going to be open. And I guess you just got to snap your head back to right here. Instead, he just kind of forces this into Kayshawn. And, it's just not a good throw. He's just all over him. Okay? It's not the easiest throw in the world to Malik, but that is one you want your starting Division I quarterback to make. Once again, I don't know why Mississippi State's not playing Xavier Thomas. I mean, these skill guys are abysmal. Just another great throw right here. I mean, that hit you right in the breadbasket. Will Rogers is just a fun quarterback to watch, right? Okay, so once again, good offense will always be good defense. This throw right here by Will Rogers, man. Okay, so once again, we're overloading and we're bringing pressure. Okay, look at when he throws this football. Okay, this is a big difference between him and just honestly most quarterbacks in the SEC. All right, the receiver is not out of his break when he is deciding to throw the football, but he knows in man coverage that this is going to be open. Okay, so he's throwing the ball now. Okay, and notice he's having to throw the football through a lot of traffic. This is one thing I do like. Look at the athleticism of our guys getting their hands at least in the passing window. But notice how he just lifts this football over the top of both of them. It's not even close, okay? And look at where this football is placed. I mean, bless America. It was a good job right there by Garner to at least get a piece of him. Obviously, the game Jay Ward had was just amazing. Good adjustment here. They got us on this quick pitch. Jay Ward beats this block. God, he just blew that block up and makes this play. Good stuff. One thing that's very interesting is Matt House moved to the booth. I believe versus Florida State, he was on the field. I prefer my coordinators to be in the booth, right? You get the all-22 angle at all times. I just think that's where you're best. Third down, this play was doomed to the start, okay? You're trying this quick pitch. We bring our backer right into its alley, okay? They're trying it again, but look at Harold Perkins. I want you to see this closing speed right here. Okay, this is a missile. Okay, he beats this puller, and bang. Okay, football is a violent sport. Favorite defensive call of the night, and it's actually one of the more simple ones. It's very interesting. So you take, to me, one of your best pass rushers off the field in Jaquelin Roy, and you actually give them a different look, okay? So this was B.J. Ojulari's best play of the night, and it's going to be interesting to see what LSU tries to do in this scenario throughout the rest of the year, because this was not necessarily an exotic design, but an exotic personnel grouping. So if you go look at our Jaquelin Roy film study from earlier this week, you saw that my favorite place to rush the passer, so when I was a pass rusher in high school, my favorite place to rush the passer is the outside shoulder of the guard, okay? I just like it because a lot of the times you're getting a one-on-one, and it's just by distance, a closer path to the quarterback. I don't have to worry about tight ends chipping. Of course, a tackle can block down, but if a tackle's blocking down, that means my end right here is getting one-on-one versus a tight end or a back or a running back. So this is my most comfortable place, all right? And that's where B.J. Ojulari is. Now, as many of you know, B.J. Ojulari is normally on this side of the line of scrimmage, okay? So what we do is just a traditional four-man rush, but it's not that easy, okay? Because when B.J. Ojulari lines up just on tape, what that means is they're going to twist. This guy's going to go this way, and Perk is going to go to the inside. But that is not what happens. What happens here is Ojulari gets a one-on-one, okay? You get the best one-on-one matchup here, all right? This guard or this center decides to help on Mekhi Wingo. So you see he looks right before he looks left. So now Guess what happens? This guard is scared of BJ's speed going to this side. So guess what that does? It causes him to sit heavy, and look at this. Gaping hole for him to do the best move as a 3 technique, which is an inside swim move. If you watched our film study from earlier this week, you would know that. All you got to do is put your left hand on his shoulder and just bring that right arm around, and that is exactly what he does. Can't do it any better than that. Now, what's very interesting is we get a little lucky. Jaquavius Marks looks left and then decides to help protect to the right. Why? Okay? This is where scouting is very important. The better pass rushers are on this side of the line of scrimmage, okay? But you decide to help to the right. That might be where the ball was trying to go. Let's see where Will Rogers' head is going. Okay, so that makes sense. You want to help more so in the direction you're trying to throw. Forget about Harold Perkins. Look at how he bends this edge right here, okay? This is just gross, all right? This time, and versus Southern, his first pass rush move, he didn't do a chop. What you want to do is when this arm gets extended, you want to chop it down. So notice here, with the left arm, Harold Perkins chops him, okay? See how he just kind of swipes? And watch how he bends this edge. There's just not many athletes that can do this. There's a number 40 in the NFL, Von Miller, who is an expert at this. And look at how low he gets to the ground. I mean, he puts his hand on the ground. BJ actually did this versus Florida in a big spot. And look at that. I mean, that's just sick. That's just in-freaking-sane. And notice, we get there so quick, the receivers aren't even close to being out of their breaks. Really good stuff, really exotic stuff. It's honestly just your simple rush 4, drop 7 principles right there, but it's exotic in personnel. All right, we continue right here. Pretty simple stuff. Throw to the flats. That's how you beat Mississippi State. They're not the fleetest of foot at backer. Hit John Emery on his upfield shoulder. Good catch by John. Good ball security. You want to get that thing high and tight as quickly as you can. I don't want my running backs palming the ball like that. Takes a hit, but we fall forward. Good yardage. All right, here we go. It's 2nd and 5. Let's see what we do here. Looking right to Kayshawn. Not there. Let's look left. Just fire this football right now. Okay? They're backing off. Florida State gave us this all day. Throw it. Rip it. So he decides to run, and then he decides to rip it. Okay? It's still there. Okay? We'll still take it. Good yards. Let's see if BTJ can make a guy miss. Of course he can, because he's Brian freaking Thomas Jr. What do you know? The John Emery happens. So I got to shout out Cajun Panda. He actually brought this up to me in a pregame photo. John Emery's had this happen to him a lot. I don't know who at LSU equipment could do to fix this other than wearing a tighter undershirt, because that did slow him down a little bit. It didn't change really the amount of yards, but still, I mean, look at that. That's crazy. It's absolute. Alrighty, so here we go. It's kind of the same thing here. You know, it's the same thing. So we're smash. It's like a high-low situation. So Kayshawn's running high into this space. Remember, we hit this hole shot right here earlier. Okay? If that's not there, it's pretty clear that this corner is running with Kayshawn right here. All right? Right there. It's not there. Okay? Still not there. Snap. Throw it right here. Okay? So instead, you start running, and then, you know, Mason Taylor kind of loses himself on the field, and he's out of bounds. All right, this is why you can't get behind the sticks versus Mississippi State. Really good call right here by Arnett, picking on a true freshman right tackle. This is a very difficult block. I'm not going to lie. I'm not just, protecting Emory Jones here. This is just tough. Okay, this end actually backs out, and at kind of sort of the last second, he doesn't see that this guy is twisting. Okay, so he's just sitting holding this block. So this player right here can that might be on Frazier here. It just depends. Frazier lets him go because he thinks Emory Jones is going to pick this up. Maybe this is on John Emery to wait and pick up whichever guy right here. This just needs to get communicated better. I'm not sure if that's on Emory Jones or who that's on, right? But on a twist like this, you want the first guy to get picked up before the second. But always you want the innermost gap before the outermost gap. So it's difficult, right? Thank God Jayden held on to the ball right here, okay? There's no way that he could know that this guy was getting through there that clean. Especially with that much protection, it's just got to get picked up. Good job eating the sack. Why having a mature quarterback is very, very, very important, okay? It's 3rd and 16. Does something open up here? It's impossible for me to really say. So just hit your underneath route. Who knows? You get a face mask penalty. But at the very least, you're not turning the football over, right? So, good job by Mason falling forward and getting some extra yards. 4th and 4, great decision right here by Brian Kelly to go for it, okay? You're down by 6. You punt the football back. All they need is a field goal to make it a 2-possession game. Very difficult throw, okay? You want to roll Jayden out to the left, the wider side of the field instead of towards the boundary. And they are bringing a pressure from this side, so I'm glad we did roll out to the left, okay? So this looks like an easy throw. It's not. That is a very, very difficult throw to make, okay? Is it makeable? Yes. But you could also throw this football here. Now, Jayden rolling out to his left isn't the best thrower of the football. This also was there. It's just a really bad throw. Okay, you'll see right here, all right? Rolling out to the left. And honestly, you can't throw that ball to BTJ right there. That is a lot of traffic right there with this defender breathing right down your neck. It looks good in theory. Maybe you could hole shot that or just put it right there. That's tough. That's tough. It is a really good route by BTJ right at the sticks. Okay? But it is smart. And, you know, Malik does have the sideline right here. And it's just a bad throw. 1, this is a sign of a really prepared defense, okay? Now, what they did on 4th down last week versus Arizona was their favorite go-to play is have a receiver clear out the defender guarding Austin Williams. This is a guy who also muffed the punt, okay? This is their go-to guy, right? So what they'll do is this player clears out some space and this ball gets delivered to Austin Williams on a quick little slant. Jay Ward watched a lot of film this week. That's the only way you could play as well as he did, and that's the sign of really good coaching. Jay Ward saw this on film. He knows on 4th down that's where they're going, and he's all over this, okay? Just excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. We go back to the zone read here, and it's just eaten alive, okay? So what does LSU need to do now that teams are going to start playing this zone read? It's simple. Got to RPO it now, okay? Where you're reading this. I thought we could have RPO'd a little bit more. Where you're reading this crash defender, and then we're just throwing if the safety decides to crash down, or the edge defender, and they're just eating that up, okay? Good job by Jayden just eating it. Good blitz pickup right here by Armani. And I would like to see the all-22 on display because we are getting the same coverage. Remember earlier, Jure was able to beat him to the inside. Let's see if he does get a jump on him. He takes an outside release. It's probably not going to be open. Okay, so we're running all verts here. Or it looks like we're running all verts. So just nothing's going to be open. And this is what I thought that they were going to do more of, okay? I thought that they were going to bring more of this pressure and then just have two spies. And then when Jayden broke the pocket, you then attack downhill with these players and force them to make throws. I was very shocked that Mississippi State did not do that. That's what I would have definitely done more of. And that's what I think teams are going to do. Honestly, all things considered, that wasn't the worst throw. At 3rd and 12, I love this call. I didn't like that we burned a timeout, though, to make this call, right? I think if you're making this call, you just got to go for it on 4th, okay? We need this block to be made right here by Mason Taylor. Actually, it's not a block. We're just running this right here. Good job, though, not to take a sack. Here's what I'll say. In the 3rd and 12 spot, you know it's going to be a close game in the 4th quarter. I'm not burning a timeout there. I'm just taking the delay a game, run a draw, and then live to see another down. That timeout can be very critical in that spot. So now we get to the play of the game, made by our guy Slade Roy. Okay? They're on punt safe. Okay? Smart, it's 4th and 9, punting in plus territory. That's what they want to do. Okay? Now, Joe Tessitore, who is a very good play-by-play announcer. I brag about him all the time. He's great. I've spoken with Tess. I'll tell you a Tess story one day. He said that this ball was a knuckler, and the way that he missed it was very interesting. Now, as a deep snapper, you're taught to get right here. You'll see it right here, okay? Now, rules experts, let me know. Okay, you want to step in, spook them a little bit. Oh, man. That ball wasn't spiraling. It just kind of just dropped down like an anvil. Ugh. Brutal. Good job by Slade. Get on the football. All right, here we go. This is a Brian Kelly staple, okay? 12 personnel. We're slipping, once again, Kayshawn to the right, or to the left. And this is where Armani Goodwin just started playing really, really well for us. He ran really good in the 4th quarter. Did the back-to-back road game thing hurt Mississippi State? It did. It undoubtedly did. Teams historically are really bad in this spot, and it did not shock me that in this quarter, Mississippi State started doing more stuff to lose the game than to win it. Oh, look at this. Tell me what city he's from in Louisiana. Right now, if you're watching this live. And why is it Coshada? Or Winfield, either one. This honestly is just lunacy to me, okay? I don't know why when the field compresses, Jayden has struggled in the red zone, okay? Why are you even giving him the chance to run out of this, okay? You lose your contain responsibility if you're Tyrus Wheat. Good job by Will washing him right here and not holding. Let him go, okay? Trust Jayden's speed. This was a massive I was very shocked that Arnett did not double spy him more often. Forced him to make throws. Very shocking decision. 3rd and goal, we are 0 for 8 on 3rd downs, okay? Now, some of that is, well, Jayden not making the throws. Okay? Amazing play call right here. All right? So what we're trying to do is get Kayshawn in the flats, and it actually does eventually open up. Okay, so what Jure is trying to do is block this guy, and boom, okay? It would have taken a really good throw, okay? But hit Kayshawn right here, okay? It's there. The pick play worked, okay? It worked. Jure is allowed this space, okay? He didn't block him. He just kind of, the dude ran into him, okay? You could throw that, but you can also do this. That's ridiculous. How did he keep his feet right here? I mean, this is legendary stuff. Now, why should you throw that to Kayshawn? Well, this is why. Because you take hits such as this one, all right? Boom. All right? And then you get this cheap one right here. Bang. All right? And this is where his head got cut, apparently. Pops right up, and he makes a big play. All right, so this gets into the tuck and run thing, right? How open was this throw? Well, this play does take a little time to develop. We are getting our best player on the team running at full speed in this direction. We do have to trust Jure to make this pick here. It's not the clearest throw. The one thing that is really good, though, about Jayden Daniels and the fact that he does tuck and run. Now, sometimes you do got to sit in there and make the throws, okay? But he is decisive when he decides to run the football, okay? He said he's not waiting for this play to develop, okay? Because it did. But at the same time, he said, look, let me see if my eyes can take these defenders away. They do. But the people that really do deserve a lot of credit is he blocking, okay? You still have to sell that you might be running this to the left here with Armani Goodwin, okay? And we do. And notice who makes the big block here, all right? Mason Taylor, Cole Taylor, Emory Jones, washing everything to the left, okay? They're tired. And this is where I started to see the Mississippi State legs begin to wither, okay? I thought Mike Leach would make some questionable coaching decisions, and I thought some of the fourth down play calling he decided to make was really bad, but I thought that Mississippi State was going to wear down, which is why I picked LSU to win this game. LSU was not the infinitely better team, but Jacob Flint and the strength and conditioning coach and staff deserve a lot of credit for having these guys ready to go. And honestly, sometimes it just comes down to when you play teams, right? LSU is coming off a Southern game where they were able to pull their starters right after the end of the first quarter. And this was a Mississippi State team that played a chaotic game. They eventually did pull away, but they didn't get back till 9 in the morning in Starkville. Gardner just ate people alive this game. Once again, Mississippi State has a skill position crisis. They just could not get guys open. Our guys just swallowed them whole. And none of these sideline-ish throws outside of the touchdown catch were even competitive, really. I mean, Gardner is just eating these people. Good job. I like seeing Demarius McGee celebrate others. That's good stuff. All right, here we go. We actually run counter, or some variation of counter, okay? We're pulling the right guard around, and we're also pulling Mason Taylor around, and we actually get what we want, okay? Everybody's sealed to the inside. I think if you're John right here, you got to bounce it, okay? When there's that much green grass, bounce it, okay? Instead, he decides to get skinny, and he still gets good yards, and we'll take that on first down. Good ball security, and, yeah. Once again, look at the grittiness. Got the bloody eye. Jayden, let's go. I love it. Not a bad read, just bad execution. If they're coming that hot, take them one-on-one and see if you can back shoulder it. Yeah, this is not close. So up to this point, as you can see, we are a combined 1 for 9 on third down. Not good, okay? So now let's start getting some things going on 3rd and 6, and we decide to spread them out, okay? So we obviously start to see that they get a little exotic up here, so we bring Josh Williams back in, and this is just really good football IQ, okay? Safety is back. They are pressing Chris Hilton, okay? Now, they back out, and on 3rd and 6, they decide to play cover 4, okay? We roll out to the right side, and guess what? It's the easiest throw you can imagine on a 3rd and 6. Very interesting choice of personnel with Chris Hilton. He does give you speed to help clear this out, okay? And guess what? Hilton does a good job of that, all right? All he's got to do is run straight, clear out the space for Malik. And I don't know if I'm Mississippi State on a big 3rd and 6. I don't know if I'd want a linebacker guarding Malik Nabers, but that's what happens when you get very conservative and run cover 4 on 3rd and 6. Big moment here, and this was a massive, massive miss. Once again, this time Jayden throws a little bit of a better ball. It still needs to be better. They are playing off of us, but we also missed this block, right? Chris Hilton, you got to get a piece of him right there, okay? Kyron Lacey is able, Malik is able to get this guy. Chris Hilton misses this block, so this would have been blown up anyway. Make that block and complete that pass. We're getting 5, 6, 7 yards right there. Good call by D, okay? So they probably think we are throwing. We are not throwing. We are running, okay? So they're getting aggressive with their pass rush angles. 5 just kind of takes himself out of the play because he thinks we're throwing. Either way, I'm just shocked that Mississippi State decided to continue to pursue their defensive linemen, and it opens up this hole right here. Good job by Delhi just to wash him. Charles Turner with an excellent block right here. Okay, so now all we need Emory to do is to get through here. Could he have gotten through here a little cleaner? Maybe, okay? Either way, we eventually found the hole. Pause. The issue here is we do miss a big block right here by Mason, okay? It's not the worst. He kind of, sort of got a little laissez-faire with this. Obviously, you don't want to hold, right? And he probably thought Emory would have gotten through there maybe a little bit sooner. I don't know. But, man, we left some yards on the field right here. But Emory does eventually make him miss. Look at this. Look at this. John Emory, you're back, baby. Let's go. And he keeps his feet. Oh, just keep your feet right after that. But still, he falls forward for some extra yardage. Good stuff. All right, it's 3rd and 2. And guess what they decide to do? Well, the same thing. Okay? We just need Jure to run as fast as he can. Jayden is obviously making some kind of check right here. All right? And what do you know? We get an easy pitch and catch, okay? Jayden, I think, might have checked into this. Corners back out on 3rd and 2. Very interesting decision. He's obviously off. I don't know why Mississippi State chose to do that, okay? Wasn't really even the absolute most accurate throw in the world. Okay, it's a little low. And it's right there. And here we go. It's the same thing here. Not providing more spies. You know, we want, Jayden's strength is running. He reads a pass rush lane better than anybody. And everybody's just kind of taking them out. We want this defensive end to be ridden all the way up here. We want these guys to be way past the line of scrimmage because all Jayden's going to do is just eat that space. I would have done a lot of things differently if I was Zach Arnett, right? I don't know how they didn't get out of that. I just don't. I don't mind the call here on 2nd and 4 to run inside zone or whatever this is. I don't mind a run up the middle. You just got to block it better. They are getting a little tired, but, I mean, there's just nothing. So give them credit for making a good stop. Same thing. It's 3rd and 3, and they are selling out to stop this run. And Malik just runs the absolute best route you possibly could have ran in the spot. And once again, the ball is not really the most accurate throw in the world. It is accurate per se, but it's a good enough ball. But God, that's just really good by Malik. Okay, you see right here. Nice little dipsy doodle. And he high points this football. Bang. And takes a hit. God, that's just really good stuff. So, I'm not going to show it to you. We missed 2 goes down the sideline. They just weren't there. They were just not great throws and not much room to make it. So, on 3rd and 10, this seems like a very easy play call. It's not. Okay, the first thing here is this is clearly a run. Okay, so I don't know how it was scored in the play sheet. I don't have the play sheet in front of me. But look at where this ball is placed. So there's even more pressure to deliver this football because if it's not accurate or if it is missed, that's a 7-yard loss. So good job by Josh Williams securing the catch. The second thing, Kyron Lacy with as good of a block as you're going to see. Okay? Then look at this finish right here by Josh Williams. Bang! Okay? Now, did we gain much yards after that? No. Really good play call by Denbrock. Now, why is this a good play call? We need to get 10 yards, right? Well, no, right? We have not been hitting deep patterns at all. Why haven't we been hitting deep patterns? Well, they're sinking back into, once again, it looks like quarters, or even if it's not quarters, they're sinking so far back, there is nowhere to throw the football. So if they're going to sink back, let's just take the yards that they give us, and maybe we could set up a super-duper long field goal. We might even get the first down, but let's set up a manageable 4th down here, okay? So 4th and 3, game on the line. Well, who do we go to? Well, go to Malik Nabers, man. He has been your best player. Now, why is this a good decision right here on 4th and 3 to go to Malik? Well, guess what? Number one, our go routes to the sideline have been awful. So let's give Jayden more room to throw this football, okay? So Malik is making some kind of communication right here to Jayden that, look, we can't just run outs. So they're going to press us, and I think that's why Mississippi State elected to call a timeout, because Mike Leach wanted to let Zach Arnett know, hey, they're killing us on these outs. They're killing us where Arizona killed us on just little quick out patterns in the flats. So now let's press them and see if we can actually make them make a difficult throw over the top. Or if they do throw an intermediate route, let's see one of our corners make a play, because we're going to bring a crap ton of pressure. Okay? So Mike Denbrock makes a good decision, okay? You're going to play single high safety and leave us basically in zero coverage over here? We got to take advantage of all this space, okay? So everything gets picked up, all right? We're in max protection, and we get everything blocked to perfection. Everything, okay? So this is as clean of a pocket, and every quarterback has to be able to make this throw. This is one of the easier throws you're going to make. All we need you to do is lead Malik, all right? And what does Jayden do? Well, once again, it is under heavy pressure. He makes the best throw of the night. Malik makes an amazing catch. And there you go. So they are tired, and a good way to know that they're tired is when you're running through arm tackles like this, okay? Cole Taylor has to make a very difficult block right here on Tyrus Wheat. It's okay. Wheat is right here to make this play. That's what back-to-back road games will do you right there. A missed tackle such as that one from Tyrus Wheat, you don't really see it. And then Emmanuel Forbes, this guy's going to play in the NFL. He gets run over. The only thing right here, okay, is if you're Josh Williams in this spot, don't reach for the goal line, okay? We have them back where we want them, okay? If this ball gets knocked loose, we're bailing them out, okay? Now, lucky enough, he was able to not only retain possession but get enough for a touchdown. But in that spot, we don't want to do that. Boom! It's 4 in the morning. I think it's 4 in the morning. It's 3:20 in the morning. I haven't even started editing any of this. So what exactly happened on this kickoff return, right? I think we all lost sleep over this. Okay, a few things here. Number one, Jay Ward actually does a good job breaking this tackle. And right now, number 5 says, look, I can't run through here. Now, I think number 32 is Demario Tolan. And let's see. The holding did happen over here. Now, was the holding necessary? No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. Okay, so we get bailed out. Got out of his lane a little bit here, it looks. It's honestly just tough to see. But right here, Greg Pinn's got to make this tackle. You just got to make that tackle right there. Okay, kickoff return is tough. All right. Also, Ramos did get too close, right? Yeah, he did. That's another thing. As a kicker, you want to at the very least slow him down, okay? The problem was Ramos could not slow him down at all right? You notice the returner full speed. Now, it's crazy is once again, this might have prevented the touchdown, okay? Because it did slow him down just a tad right there. And that allowed Converse to come back and make this play. The holding bailed us out, but that would have been nuts if that loose shirt, once again, it's that loose undershirt. It's crazy to me that that happens so much now. Okay, first down. Another drop on a ball right on the money. Second down, well, guess what? They drop again. I believe this is their fourth drop just this half. Plays perfect. I mean, that's getting blocked, and he's getting through there pretty easy. Okay, third down. God, this is just good. BJ when we really need it. Okay. They bring a motion man. Okay, that lets him know that it's probably going to be zone. Just makes sense on 3rd and 10. And BJ just turns the corner on this guy. I mean, you just can't rush the passer any better than this. See how he's just swiping his hand, keeping that tackles. But this time, Perk rushes to the inside. You notice how he swipes that arm down. He gets low, and he just kind of squeezes through there. Look at how low he's able to get right there. Okay? And then along with Ojulari, who's getting one-on-one here, look at him bend the edge right here. But the main thing here is nothing is getting open. Nothing. Okay? So a little bit of a hold right there. And then he tries to flip it, and it's nothing. So the first thing is this punt looks like it's short. It's being punt from the 17-yard line. It does also seem that our returner is pretty far back for this fair catch. But that's not here nor there. So he thought that this ball hit his leg, okay? It did not, all right? But as a returner, you need to go pick that up if you think it did hit his leg, okay? Then you don't get the recovery cleanly, okay? So I don't know what he was thinking. Once again, it's just very sloppy from Clayton, but at least he got it. All right, so it's 1st and 10. I love this play call. Throw on 1st and 10. And guess what? We get 2-on-2. All right? Denbrock thought the safety was going to come up and support the run. He was right. Okay? So what happened? Ball's got to go right here. Okay? We're high-low in this again. It's same thing. Okay? You run flat. Kayshawn, you take the corner. Now, why didn't Jayden just throw this football to Kayshawn? I don't know. I think part of it is, game on the line. You're afraid that you're going to throw a pick six. If you throw it deep, at least if it is an interception, it's probably not going to get returned. But where he put this ball actually wasn't bad. Okay? Give the DB credit. Once again, their DB ball skills, I cannot say it enough, are really good. Get down, this is really good for John Emery, right? I brought this up a lot. Now I won't bring it up again. He's never had a crunch time carry in the fourth quarter of a close game. Never. Okay? And now he's getting this. And that's good for your confidence. It's good to get that under your belt. And believe it or not, he stepped up in a major way, okay? Cole is getting two-gapped, and he gets ragdolled a little bit here. And notice Wheat sees the football and actually gets his hand right in there. Look at the strength of John Emery to hold on to the ball in this moment, okay? Good stuff. All right, it's 3rd and 7. That was a good decision just to run. They only have one timeout. This was, once again, just really, really, really baffling stuff right here by Mississippi State. I am truly, truly shocked by this defensive play call, okay? And what can happen sometimes as a DC, and Arnett is very talented, and the 3-3-5 and the Mississippi State defense is very hyped up, is you can overthink things, okay? What do you want to do right here on this 3rd and 7, okay? I don't care where you're watching from right now. Just give me your best guess. You want Jayden to at least complete a pass, okay? There's no need to bring an exotic blitz. That's what we want you to do. We want you to get exotic and over-pursue your pass rush lanes, okay? Either way, we pick it up to perfection, okay? Josh Williams gets a massive block right here on this twister, and they decide to bring a safety blitz, all right? And they back out, once again, in cover 4. But if you're running all vertical routes, eventually this stuff kind of becomes, match principles, right? So, guess what? The one thing you don't want to give Jayden Daniels here is this right here, okay? It's lunacy. It's absolute lunacy to do this. The fact that not anyone told the Mississippi State defensive line to not over pursue it. Really good stuff right here by Emory Jones, and he actually finished him, okay? Good stuff. And I think he was just trying to cut back and make a play. Excellent stuff, and a good job right here by Jayden to submarine in there and get those yards. Took a shot, too. Can't slide right there. You would have been short, and that right there basically sealed it. You'll see it right here. I mean, who cares you're bringing safety blitz from all the way right there? Cool, okay? You give a quarterback this right here, we're taking that all day, okay? Now, could he have stepped up and eventually hit Malik on this dig? Yes. But you're Jayden freaking Daniels. And even if you're short, the clock's going to continue to move, right? And you're not really worried about clock burning mode right there anyway. We're more so worried about getting the first down to extend this game. All right. This was the dagger. And Armani Goodwin, who doesn't break a lot of tackles, broke them when they mattered the most. I don't care that they're tired. Yes, the back-to-back road game thing is in play right here. But what really matters is this hole, okay? Good job right here by Delhi just to wash this guy just completely out. 5 is a really good player for them. But really where this play was made is this double right here by Frazier and Turner, okay? Lots of question marks of those two guys coming into this game. And look at that. We're moving him back. And we open up this hole. Good read by Armani, okay? To see that this cutback-ish angle is open, okay? And he's kind of just giving himself up right here. But you see, look at this. He's just right there, and he doesn't really even make an effort. Wheat, okay? This is Amite, Louisiana. Wheat. Why doesn't he make an effort? He's gassed, okay? He makes this tackle 12 times out of 10, okay? But he kind of just lets him go by there. And then 19, who just had that blitz from 2 miles back, is making an arm tackle right here, and Armani Goins off to the races, okay? We know Armani has speed. It's good to see him break tackles, and hopefully this is good for his confidence, and they weren't even really close here, all right? And LSU seals this thing. Let's go. All right, this is a play that wrapped it up. B.J. Ojulari turning the edge once again, making stuff happen, and Will Rogers just miscommunication, and Jay Ward seals it. To me, we didn't show much of his run stops. Run stopping was just amazing. I hope his knee is okay. That obviously sucks that he landed very awkwardly. But, man, he was physical, and he was phenomenal for LSU. And, yeah. Alrighty, so let's have a conversation on this game. Now, obviously, I have gotten a lot of messages. I'm going to touch on a lot of different topics here at the end. I really appreciate every single one of you. I love how fly our players look going into this. First things first, we are all LSU fans, and I feel as if there is a big portion of the fan base that is rooting for certain players to not succeed, okay? And the truth is, you want everybody to succeed. It doesn't matter who it is. Now, truth be told, some of you know the players, some of you are families and friends of the players, but ultimately, all that matters is slapping that win bar and finding a way to get W's, okay? And there's a lot of different ways you can go out there and win games. And that's why this overall evaluation of this game is very complex, okay? That's why I wanted to do a very detailed film study. Now, what I like to do at the end of a game is when I rewatch a game, I want to see and answer this question to myself on a macro scale, okay? And I'm going to do a podcast episode on this. So once again, subscribe to the free Power Hour LSU podcast. It is different, obviously, than this and our live streams. But on a macro scale, did LSU win this game, or did Mississippi State do more to lose this game? And the answer, honestly, is the latter, okay? Truth be told, the person that deserves the most credit for this game is Matt House, right? He called a very elaborate and interesting defensive scheme. And it was gutsy because a lot of people say, hey, when you play Mississippi State, be very conservative, rush 3, drop 8. And we decided to not do this. We decided to say, look, I trust our defensive backs to go out there and cover their guys. And Matt House was right. And when I evaluated Mississippi State's offense, their guys didn't get open, and they dropped a lot of passes. They have a skill position crisis, and our secondary was unfreaking believable. And they deserve, honestly, the most credit out of anybody, Matt House and the secondary, which leads me to me, the most massive adjustment that is not getting any praise whatsoever, because Matt House called a near perfect game. If you look at the plays that Mississippi State actually did make, it took really perfect throws and plays from Will Rogers, right? That's why I spent a lot of time on that Will Rogers out. First off, to appreciate a really good player for their team, but second off, to show you how complicated it was for Mississippi State to move the football. So the fact that you hold a Mike Leach offense to 16 points, a few 4th and 1 stops, is nothing short of incredible. So Matt House deserves the most credit. And remember earlier I said I'm going to point out a few adjustments. Whoever it was to make the decision to move Matt House to the booth deserves a lot of praise, because the DC who made more mistakes was Zach Arnett, and he was on the field, okay? I like my coordinators to be in the booth. I just do. And I know, my favorite DC obviously is Dave Aranda. He was on the field. Some guys are better on the field, some people are better on the booth, but you had these kinds of plays right here by Harold Perkins that was nothing short of incredible, right? We get a A-gap blitz from him. We get a one-on-one versus a running back. He's going to win that every single time. So Matt House in the booth, give BK a lot of credit and Matt House a lot of credit for changing that up, because I do believe in the Florida State game, if I am not mistaken, he was on the field, okay? So House, for me, actually got my highest grade. If you want to see the full game grades, check it out for yourself. Now, before I get to Jayden Daniels, a few more things here at the end of this video. The first thing is LSU special teams overall is still a disaster. And once again, it took them to make the biggest special teams mistake of the game to actually win this game for us. Shout out once again to former PHL guest Slade Roy. We are trying to get Slade on the channel this week. Obviously, we are big fans of his, and we are glad that he got this moment in the sun. But, Bramblett obviously had a good game punting, but overall, punt coverage was an issue. Xavier Thomas, once again, I wish he was an LSU Tiger. Our punt coverage was bad. Obviously, our kick coverage was bad. There's a few adjustments I might do a video on that later this week. You guys remind me, I'm going to try to get to that because it is a little bit elaborate and it is a little bit different. So, yeah, there needs to be a lot changed with LSU's special teams units, okay? Now, I did get a lot of messages, and this actually did mean a lot to me. This is one from Chris, who is one of our patrons, and I didn't get a chance to respond to a lot of them, and I do want to shout out my good buddy Blake at AYS. He, gave me a lot of credit. I was on LSU pretty heavy. I thought that they were going to win this game, and my reason was actually kind of a strange one. It was more so I thought Mississippi State wasn't going to play well, and they didn't. And like I said, they did more to lose this game. Going back-to-back road games in Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, we're only a one-loss team. The crowd was so big for us in this game. So if you were in the building, you also deserve a miniature game ball of some sort. Mississippi State just crumbled. They really, really did. They controlled the first portion of this game. They were aggressive. They were going for the win. I give Mississippi State, or I give LSU a lot of credit finding a way to win this game, but Mississippi State made a lot of mistakes, and that's what happens when you play in hostile environments 2 weeks in a row. And that Arizona game was very exhausting. So for me, I was pretty heavy on LSU. This was one of my more confident, I do an SEC channel, one of my more confident plays of the week, LSU over Mississippi State, and it obviously played out, and I'm very happy, of course, that it did. Also, this game confirmed my priors on, to me, my 4 top Louisiana-related players, okay? My top 3 LSU recruits in this last cycle, Harold Perkins, Emory Jones, Will Campbell, you can argue were 3 of our best players, and they are true freshmen, 2 of which are late fall enrollees. Unfreaking believable performances from all 3 of them. And Xavier Thomas was my highest rated Louisiana skill position player by a wide amount. Now, we don't know how he's going to be at receiver because Mississippi State won't play him at receiver. You can't tackle him on a punt return. He was a major issue for us. So, when it comes to recruiting, we want to make sure we get those Louisiana skill guys, but obviously we'll be fine about that. I'm just going through a bunch of notes here at the end as you get to watch some really cool LSU highlights from LSU sports. So that was obviously very, very, very interesting. Now, once again, I appreciate I know that sounds like a victory lap, but this game played out how I thought it was going to play out. I thought LSU actually was going to start a little bit faster, but I thought for sure that they would end strong because Mississippi State would wear down. Now, we get to a few other things here at the end. What are some adjustments? Once again, I'm going to get pushback. I mentioned it a few times in the video. Jack Bech is too talented of a player to have on the bench, and yes, Kayshawn needs to be on the field at all times, and Dre and Malik are playing at a high level. And I understand BK, a big thing for us were the max protects, the 12 personnel kind of stuff. That was obviously very helpful for us, but I did think Mason Taylor had a rough game, and that's not really Mason Taylor's fault. This is a really difficult position. Even if you look at the NFL, rookie tight ends struggle. Because at tight end, out of all the positions on offense, you legit have to do the most things. And I feel like Mason Taylor felt a little tired in this game because he is playing such a high snap count, and that's not obviously all his fault. I would like to see Besham in some of those tight end-ish. I'm not saying play him at tight end. Maybe, just maybe. I'm also going to bring up potentially a change on the offensive line. The offensive line played really well, and you don't want to mess with the cohesiveness, but my favorite position for Cam Wire was right guard. I thought of the offensive lineman, I felt Frazier struggled the most, so maybe Cam Wire at right guard would be something that I would look into as far as like just a minor adjustment, okay? Now we get to Jayden Daniels, okay? And once again, go to patreon.com/LSU football. I know this to be true, okay? My grade on Jayden in the Patreon is actually pretty harsh. And 2 things can be true at once, okay? The first thing is, I don't know how this happens. I have some theories as to why this is the case. I do get a lot of messages from people that call me a Jayden lover and a Jayden fanboy. And the truth is, I am. I'm also a fanboy of everybody else on this team. These videos and what I do on PHL are just my honest evaluations on players, okay? So, yeah, call me a fanboy. I'm a fanboy of every single person that has ever put on that helmet and blood, sweat, teared, all that stuff for our Tigers, okay? So if you call me that, sure, go right on ahead, because that's what I am. But I also feel like I give honest evaluations. And, a lot of people say you're making excuses for Jayden. The truth is, Jayden played a C game. He missed a lot of throws, and we obviously outlined them. He had really that drive in the red zone that was miserable, where he missed 3 throws in a row. The first half miss to Jack Besh when our offense wasn't really getting anything done. Those things do begin to pile up, and against a better team, we are probably not winning this game. We caught a lot of breaks to go our way, and that's just the honest truth on how I see it, okay? So, for me, we just gotta find ways to play better. The first half was not a good performance, okay? The second thing is obviously, what could we do to fix some of this offensive stagnation, if you will? Speed things up, right? I thought we ran the football. Obviously, we didn't run the football great. Traditional runs to the running backs. We didn't break a lot of tackles. We didn't block it absolutely perfect. But then again, I think Mike's first half play calling wasn't the absolute best. I would have run counter. I would like to see some more potential RPO kind of stuff, especially if teams start to crowd us in the zone read game. But then in the second half, Denbrock called really a masterful game. He started doing what Arizona did that worked, okay? And once again, I missed on some things. I missed on some stuff in this game. But the throws to the flats were our best throws, right? That got our offense moving. That got them moving side to side. And those things really started to work out for us. So, for me, Jayden is our guy. He clearly went out there and found a way to get us this W. But that's what football is. It is nuanced, right? This is a wacky game where the other team makes mistakes, we make a play, we make mistakes, they make a play, and honestly, it comes down sometimes in these close games, do you make enough plays to win the games when it matters the most? And for 2 consecutive Power 5 games, you have to say this. This is an undeniable fact, and you would be just straight up lying about this. Jayden Daniels was clutch. In the fourth quarter, when we needed it, he brought us back versus Florida State. In the fourth quarter, when we needed it, yes, we got a muff punt, but the bottom line is yes, I say Mississippi State did a lot of things to lose this game, but at the same time, the drive where you had the third down completions to Malik, yes, there were some iffy defensive calls, but a lot of that was Jayden Daniels just making freaking plays. Yes, the balls weren't thrown absolutely perfect. Yes, Malik was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. But the bottom line is, in that spot, our quarterback, with all the pressure in the world on his shoulders, found a way to make freaking tackle football plays. And in the grand scheme of things, guess what? Not everything is going to look Burrow-esque or Mahomes-esque or whatever you want to call it. Just find a way to get it done when you're in these high leverage situations. So, yes, a lot of the mistakes that Jayden made in the earlier portions of the game did begin to pile up. Yes, Mississippi State dropped a lot of passes. Yes, they made a lot of questionable defensive calls. Yes, they gave Jayden too many easy rushing lanes where other defenses just, quite frankly, aren't going to do it. So that's going to come along with the evolution of the season. But for me, it is a mixture of both. Like I said last night on the live stream, if you miss throws with Jayden Daniels, you still have the option of him doing what he does best, which is run. Okay? Now, he's got to start making some of those throws, but that's the thing. The good thing about his runs is, number one, he is very durable. I do think some of the hits in this game are piled up on him, and this was a tough game for his long-term potential health because those hits do begin to pile up over the course of the year. So, at some point you got to start making some of these throws because your ribs get sore. There's a lot of different things that can happen. Obviously, he looked like a UFC fighter in the head, but man, he's gritty. Man, he's a leader. And for that reason, he deserves a lot of credit. So that's it for me. I thought Brian Kelly actually coached a fine game. I do think he starts taking a little bit bigger role in our special teams preparation. So we shall see what happens there. So obviously, comment down below. Once again, thank you for all the nice messages. Sometimes some of your predictions do work out. Sometimes they don't. And last night, a lot of different things worked out for me, as far as player evaluation and all that stuff. So thank you guys so much. I trust you guys will remind me when I'm wrong, and I am wrong quite a bit as well. Thank you guys so much for making this channel so much fun hanging out with us for this 2-hour-ish film study. And we hope you join our Patreon, drop a donation, all that good stuff. And until then, we'll see you next time, okay? It is Power Hour LSU. Bam! And tonight, we're getting some steak action. Let's go.